Hey students, for this week's upcycle, I'm making these poofs. They're like little pillow cushions that you can sit on. So they serve multiple functions in terms of upcycling. For one, the fabric that they're made out of is interior design samples that are kind of too small to make anything out of except for something like this. And then on the inside is another place where I store my fabric scraps. So we'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing I've done is I've selected 6 fabric samples. These are all, like I said, interior design samples. All of these kind of have some yellowish hues and some taupey grays. Then I have this pattern piece that is just made out of some pieces of poster board. So each kind of triangle piece is cut to 1/6 of the circle, and then it'll kind of poof out at the bottom. So I'll just go ahead and cut these out. After you're done cutting the samples, make sure that you don't throw any of the scraps away because that's going to be part of the stuffing on the inside. The next thing I'm going to cut out is the bottom or the base of the poof. So the first thing I'm going to sew is I'm going to sew the bottom, and I'm going to put a zipper right down the center of the bottom just so there's easy access to stuff it. So I'm cutting my circle in half. And then I will sew my zipper. And I'm going to bring my serger over to finish the edges. So now I've got my zipper sewn in, and I'm not going to do a covered zipper or anything like that. I'm just going to leave it exposed and press it open. Now I'm going to start at the top, and I'm just going to take my 2 pieces, start sewing those together. I'll open it up and add my next piece. It's important to make sure that all the tips are reaching the same height, but when you start sewing, you're going to start about a 1/2 inch. I do about 1/2 inch seam allowances typically instead of a 5/8 with this. So I'm going to start about a 1/2 inch from each side. That way when I open this up, I've got a nice triangular piece right here, and then I've still got enough seam allowance to add my next 3 pieces. Now I've got all 6 pieces sewn. I just need to sew one more seam to get them all sewn together. So I'm going to lay them in this half circle shape, and I'm going to press down these sides and these sides and go across from here and all the way down. That way I can make sure that all of the sides, all 6 corners will meet up nicely and they'll all get sewn together. So now it's all sewn together. I'm going to open it up and make sure that my center points look good. Now this is what I think is the trickiest part about these little poof cushions is getting the top sewn to the bottom. So the nice thing is you don't have to stitch anything closed. That's what the zipper is for. So you just open the zipper a little bit so you'll be able to flip everything inside out once you're done. I just start pinning on one side, right sides together. And then I go right in half. So I've got 3 panels on this side, 3 panels on this side, and I'll put my zipper right in the middle of those 2 panels. Now I just have to ease this rounded edge into these panels on each side. All right, now that I've got the whole thing pinned together, I'm going to sew. So I've got the whole thing sewn around. Just take out any extra pins. I can unzip this a little bit more. And flip the whole thing inside out. We have this nice flat poof that isn't quite cushioned yet, so I'm going to add some styrofoam that I got from the dumpsters, and also our big pile of fabric scraps right there. The styrofoam will give it a little bit of cushion, so it's kind of soft, and then the fabric scraps will give it a little bit of height and weight. So once you're done, you can fill it to be as tight or as loose as you want it to be. I might end up sticking some more fabric scraps in here, but overall, I think it's pretty good. Now I just have about 20 more of these to make for a summer outdoor fundraiser.